Big Alcohol is trying to take over the sale of our plant that we know and love. What exactly is going on with that, and what are their arguments for their case? Let's get into it because it's kind of a doozy, and I got very, let's say, upset during stream. So let's get right into it. Hey guys, I just want to jump in here real quick before we get too far into this video. I want to let you guys know that I am officially an affiliate for AC Infinity, a place where you can get all of your grow setup needs, from ventilation, dehumidifiers, lights, grow tents, you name it, you can probably find it on acinfinity.com. So if you go to acinfinity.com, next time you need to get a different grow light, or the next grow setup is calling your name, or you just need some replacement parts, or maybe a refillable carbon filter, go ahead and check out acinfinity.com and use promo code EXPRESS420 at checkout. That is acinfinity.com. Use promo code EXPRESS420 for 10% off at checkout. Thank you guys very much. Before getting into this video, I want to let you guys know that I'm affiliated with seedsmanseeds.com. Yes, you can finally use a referral link down in the description below to get yourself some of the most top-notch genetics in the business. And I'm not going to show their website. We all know what they sell there. I'm not going to show any footage from their website because I want this video to have the least likelihood to get age restricted. But you can head over to Seedsman Seeds. You know the name, you know the game, you know the genetics. There's some big names and some things you have never heard of that look absolutely fantacular. We were looking at them on stream. If you want to go check out my last stream, you can go see what they got going on over there. But you can use the link in the description below, assuming YouTube doesn't absolutely obliterate this video for it being there. And you can go get a discount on some seeds and help out the channel. It would really mean a lot to me, and it would really mean a lot to your garden that you are putting good genetics in to get great product out. Thank you to Seedsman Seeds for being generous enough to give me an affiliate link, and back to the video. So yesterday, as of this recording, I was on stream and I was jump scared by an article that Google recommended to me that said alcohol companies want to take over the exclusivity sales of the C-word industry, talking about that plant. Now, why is this a big problem? I mean, that's kind of obvious, but what exactly was their logic going into this? Let's start with that. What was their argument? What is their stance? Their stance is that only people who are legally allowed to sell alcohol should be allowed to sell medication. Now, medication, I'm going to use that word in this video to supplement, just to make it easy. So, alcohol wants to take over selling medication, flat out. 100%. They want all of it. They want exclusivity. No one else should be allowed to do it. One thing that they said in this article is that they are concerned about the threat to medication on their industry. If we have people smoking recreationally, consuming medication recreationally, that is going to damage our profits. This was literally said in the article that I will link down below, as well as another one that I read that kind of goes over the same points, just to confirm my greatest fears. So what exactly does that mean for us? In the medication industry, we have things called dispensaries. These are people who are licensed, who are regulated to sell our medication. We can go in there, we get ID'd, and we walk off with our medication after legally paying for it with legal tender, and we all have a fantastic day. No booze in sight, no sin at all, just great God's lettuce. Now, the thing about this is that their part is going to end up shutting it down after this proposal if it goes through. We are not going to be able to have legal dispensaries. It's no longer going to be a thing. It's going to be a figment of our imagination. A couple of the arguments they listed off, talked about when they were trying to put their case in motion, is they argued that alcohol has had a long history of having to deal with regulation, controlled environments, keeping contaminants out, such as lead and heavy metals and stuff that we are actually admittedly having trouble with in the medication industry. These things are happening. It does happen. We just talked a week ago about a company that lost their license for life. But the thing is, due to their irresponsibility, they got investigated and they lost their license for life. That is a very important thing. If these people get investigated, they are going against the regulations, they face serious repercussions. It happens. But alcohol is arguing that because they are better equipped to handle regulated substances, that they should be the only ones who are legally allowed to sell recreational or medical medication. Another argument they used is they actually pulled the Think About the Kids card. Now, the Think About the Kids card is something that politicians, alcohol companies, tobacco companies have all been using, ironically, to shut down and keep criminalized/illegalized our medication. Now, the problem with this argument is that, personally speaking, every time I go into the dispensary for my medication, the very common protocol every single time, no matter how many times I've been in the store, no matter if my friend is behind the desk, someone I knew since high school was behind the desk, it did not matter who the relationship was with, doesn't matter if it was the boss of the company that I know, doesn't matter if it's a friend of mine, does not matter. The protocol is to check the license, scan the license, make sure it's legit, and go through the door after everything is verified by the computer, by the database. Now, getting carded for alcohol is very different. You just look at the card and say, yep, it says the birth date, that picture kind of looks like you, and you're done. Then you get to buy your alcohol. Fake IDs have been used to get alcohol to children for a very long time, and the same thing is not happening in the cannabis space. It's kind of strange, isn't it? And the same thing goes for tobacco because they're sold in the same areas. Now, this is actually a very funny point. Because if the same procedure was to our medication as it is to alcohol and tobacco, regulated the same way, because in the end goal, that's what they say they want. They want it to be regulated similar to alcohol so they can sell it at the same places. The problem with that is when you do that and you're not being sold in a legal dispensary for our medication, where they check, where they verify, where they make sure it's legit, they will get more medication to children. They will get more medication to children. And if they're selling alcohol, they're probably pretty good with recognizing addictive substances. And they could put something in the medication. This is a very straw man argument, full disclaimer, but I'm saying that it's very possible that if everybody who can legally sell alcohol, out of all of them, doesn't matter if it's a mom and pop, homebrew, whatever, big company, who knows, could possibly, in theory, in Minecraft, mix it with more addictive substances to make it more addicted to the children that they're trying to claim to keep the properties away from. So what kind of argument is that, really? Keeping alcohol away from the kids? No. Keeping medication away from the kids? No, they wouldn't be doing that. It's much safer to sell in a legal dispensary with different regulations to follow, different procedures and different technology, different ways of keeping track of information. It is extremely more sophisticated. So what do I think of all this? What are my arguments against this? What do I think will happen if this goes through and only people who can sell alcohol would be making it through to being the only ones who can sell medication? What do I think? What are my questions, comments, concerns? What are they on this? Well, my biggest thing is that alcohol is a $1,769 billion industry. Somewhere around there, 1,760. I'll put a screenshot right here, just so we don't get shit mixed up, because I looked this up on stream. Medication is a 60-something billion-dollar industry. If I were to stop selling one of those, which would it be? Would it be 1,760 billion? Or would it be the 60 billion that I don't even know how to properly perform to make good product? Do you really think in your right mind that a giant company is going to take the time to learn how to grow? They're not. Do you think they're going to subscribe to me, Mr. Grow It, Pigeons 420, CLTV, The Strange Show, Canucks? Do you think they're going to subscribe to them, learn from scratch how to grow proper medication? Or do you think they're going to make either swag and ditchweed at high production, even worse quality than we're getting in dispensaries now across the board? Or do you think they're just going to completely cut it out and not sell it because they don't want it competing with their industry like they said in the beginning? What is more believable? That they're going to put in the time, hire a bunch of people, spend all the overhead, and then make cuts later? Or just, yep, we're the only ones who can sell it, and guess what? We're not gonna. And we're gonna put the money to lobbying against people who grow at home so that nobody can have it. Which do you think is more likely? That they're going to use their power to get rid of the competition? Or that they are genuinely interested in learning something new? What do you think? If it came head to head, let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, hey, let me know in the comment section down below. I'm going to show some stream clips going over the articles, my raw reactions, stuff like that. But until next time, hey, hit the subscribe button if you want to stick around. Hit that like button because it helps in the algorithm, and I will see you next time. Thank you very much. Alcohol retailers say only they should be able to legally sell cannabis products, because cannabis and alcohol are exactly the same thing. A new policy memo from American Alcohol Retail Industry Group argues that marijuana should be regulated more like booze, including by requiring that intoxicating cannabis products be sold only by businesses licensed to sell alcohol. The dumbest fucking thing. That's like saying only... I can't even come up with a comparison that's fucking that ridiculous. I'll come up with something eventually, but let's keep reading. States should restrict the sale of intoxicating THC products to businesses licensed to sell beverage of alcohol and that are regularly inspected for compliance with the laws aimed at preventing sales to... So basically they're like, hey, they should be carded, which they are. They are identified... Do they think it's not fucking regulated? Is that what they think? They think we just go into a dispo and we can just buy weed if we walk into a dispo? Is that what they think? Published by Monthly American Beverages, ABL Trade Association. The group contends that alcohol retailers may decide, with many decades of proven compliance, are best positioned to sell their products. Are you fucking stupid? Are you actually dumb? The alcohol industry in recent years has been increasingly involved in lobbying on marijuana issues. That's in part due to expanding marijuana markets that are competing with alcohol sales. That's because alcohol is garbage. That makes a lot more sense. They're just trying to twist this because they want a piece of the pie, because people are buying weed instead of alcohol, which is what should be happening in my opinion. A report from Bloomberg Intelligence, BI, last year called cannabis a significant threat to the alcohol industry. It is, and that's a good fucking thing. That's exactly what we're trying to do. We're trying to cut out a lot of the alcohol industry. Why? Because it's safer. Hades, what's up, man? I agree. It should be regulated like alcohol. You can brew your own. You can sell it without testing. Small batch. Large brewery can cross state line, dry counties, bring it, make it just like alcohol, but with medical benefits. I I partially agree with you. There's a lot of common ground in that argument, but I do personally think that, you know what? Is there like restrictions? I don't know enough about the alcohol industry. Are there restrictions to where how much like you can brew yourself, or is it like a free for all? I don't know enough. But a citing survey says that data suggests more people are using cannabis as a substitute for alcohol beverages such as beer and wine, which is good. That's a good fucking thing. Fuck the alcohol industry, especially after saying this shit. The report projected that slumping sales of wine and spirits may extend indefinitely, which will stem largely from increased customer access to legal cannabis and other alternative products. Are you fucking... All I have to say to this is, are you joking? Are you stupid? Are you joking? Are you stupid? That's the entire fucking thing. I hope that doesn't go through. That's so stupid. Alcohol wants to be in charge of selling legal cannabis. Why? Because cannabis is better and everyone knows it. Control one of the most popular items in the world, making it convenient for consumers. Now alcohol wants to be the sellers of cannabis. Like weed, alcohol has been around for thousands of years, but somehow... alcohol technically has been around probably as long as weed has, but we have not had it like alcohol. It's because ENZ doesn't like alcohol, drinking so much and dying after... Yeah, that's because millennials and Gen Zers and Gen Xers woke the fuck up. It's not that hard of a puzzle piece to solve. No, like, the alcohol industry and the tobacco industry are likely going to fucking wither away and die and might likely become extinct in the next 30 years. Give it 50 at most. Like, we don't need nicotine and we don't need alcohol if we have weed, because everything gets better when you use those substances. I've heard not to use alcohol to sterilize pruners because it can actually trap the bacteria or viruses and isolate it to make infection easier. Actually, it stimulates the growth and stabilizes those things. Yeah, there's a lot of scientific evidence to back that, and that's why you use a 1 to 10 bleach to water ratio, I believe it is, to actually sterilize your scissors or your razors. Whatever you're using, I don't really like alcohol, but I do like the testosterone boosting effects of nicotine. Okay, so I think the testosterone boosting effects of nicotine work a lot like credit card interest, because where you're gaining testosterone, you might gain like... I need to look that up. I've never fucking heard that.